Welcome back at the main stage of the Athens Democracy Forum. I am Elina Makri, I'm the General Manager of the Foundation and the only non-technical background person in this panel. I'm joined by two doctors in electrical and computer and information system, electrical engineering and information system in order to discuss, present and include you in projects we are working on using technology and artificial intelligence in order to help our democracies evolve. Leverage technology to advance our political system. During the conference, you will hear a lot about the threats of the artificial intelligence, disinformation, misinformation, the threats to elections, because of the artificial intelligence and so on. In this panel, we will frame our presentation. We have a bias. We will examine artificial intelligence as a tool, as a footprint of human intellect and intelligence to serve humanity. A short introduction to set the atmosphere. A few years ago, I heard a discussion between surgeons, neuroscientists, and a person coming from the Eastern so-called wisdom traditions. The discussion was about anesthesia and human intellect and intelligence, had nothing to do with technology and artificial intelligence. And at some point, the scientists reflect to intellect as a sharp knife. A knife like a tool. So I will use this metaphor for the artificial intelligence. Suppose we do not give a knife to a child's hand. The knife is not dangerous. The child's hand is not steady. Tell me, on this planet, are knives taking more lives or making more lives? It is making more lives, both in the kitchens and the surgery table. Here and there, in an irresponsible hand, it's taking a life. The knife is not dangerous. It's the hand. It's the identity that makes the knife dangerous. If there is no knife, just with the hand, one can kill you. So, we will use this metaphor for AI as a tool. How can we make AI serve as a tool humanity? How it can serve democracy? We are working in three projects that we will present you. The first one is called Orbis, a set of technological tools and methodologies to facilitate large-scale deliberations. And I explain myself. As much as I admire the Swiss that still in some villages they gather in the squares and they vote by raising their hand, this cannot happen at the European Union level where you have almost 500 million of population, to be accurate, 449 million people, and more of 80% of their legislation is common. How do you include them in the decision-making process? So Orbis, which is funded by the European Commission, was created out of this need to include more people to decision-making. This is, and it will be, a long and historic process, and we are part of it. Probably you have heard about the Conference on the Future of Europe, which concluded its work more than 2 years ago, and its major legacy is the embedding of deliberative democracy in EU policy making. Through a series of citizen-led debates, discussions that took place for almost a year, and citizens expressed and shared ideas for our common future. And those proposals were submitted at the European institutions to become further on legislation. Citizens made recommendations about certain EU Commission initiatives such as food waste, climate change, mobility, a major pan-European democratic exercise, and hopefully the river cannot go back. We are part of this process through Orbis, keeping up the momentum, and with other organizations from different parts of Europe, United Kingdom included, Switzerland included, Open University from the UK, Fondazione Feltrinelli, and I know Davide is somewhere here, from Italy, Politecnico di Milano, Novel Corps from Greece, SEPS and RIE from Belgium, and others. So our project, our task, and our call is funding effective ways and uses of technology to address the lack of dialogue between citizens and policy-making institutions. But before this, how we can design scaling mechanisms for deliberations, for discussions that lead to a legitimate process of decision-making. We are designing and testing ways through Orbis to engage citizens meaningfully and not just online voting or through discussions, unstructured discussions in social media. And the way to do this is through 6 pilots that we run in different levels. The first one is really local, in the neighborhood, with the local restaurant and its community in Milano, going regional, working with farmers in Western Greece, and then going national and transnational. DCF, the Democracy and Culture Foundation, runs 2 pilots. The one is about policy recommendations, suggestions that start from a small group of experts, and then we open to a wider audience. Otherwise, what is the use? That's something that starts from smaller to, and stays in a small group and ends there. Or how can we engage teens in the process and marginalized groups? We will discuss later what we do about teens and also the youth. And you can imagine the difficulty of a good online discussion where all the elements of the in-person meeting, all the intangible, the movement, the empathy, the expressions are no longer there. However, the online, the technology can give us the necessary distance in order to capture, examine, and analyze arguments and patterns of discussion that sometimes hidden in plain sight, and sometimes you need extra learning, machine learning, in order to analyze them. And what we do, what better is to combine the human and the machine learning. I will give the floor to Nikos, who is Nikos Karacapilidis, university professor at the University of Patras. With Nikos, we are working on a second project. We also collaborate in Orbis, but you will speak for something different. And you have a presentation.
Thank you. May I stay here? Okay. Hi from my side. Just allow me to give a special thank to Achilleas and Anthony for the invitation and the pleasure to work with them during the last few years. I'll try not to go into technical details and present you something that we consider, it's the second project that Elina mentioned. We consider it as a continuation of Orbis, and it's how we get a bit more of AI in order to further assist stakeholders, both citizens and policymakers, during deliberation process. We try to address some needs, the needs that you see in this slide, which are also some challenges for us, big challenges, some of them to be addressed, and we have to be careful, according to what Elina said before, how much we can get from AI, what is the role of people and citizens in this process, etc. So one challenge is to increase the level of participation, to have more voices being heard, to augment the pluralism, to help, as I said, people, citizens, in reasoning processes, in information-seeking processes, even in argument-building processes. In many cases, after a few interviews we had and after a lot of research we do all these years, we know that some people are reluctant in participating in digital deliberation processes. They are afraid, they hesitate to express their voice. So we think that we can get the best of AI in order to help them participate in this discussion. At the same time, we pay much attention to the issues of trust and transparency. We use some special algorithms from AI, from the field of explainable AI, in order to make transparent to stakeholders what is going on during the deliberation. As a whole, overall, we want to help, as I said, stakeholders to understand what is going on in an ongoing deliberation, what has been done in a past deliberation. Without diving into details, we tried to get the most of state-of-the-art AI models and techniques. You are all aware, I guess, about LLMs, large language models like ChatGPT, etc. You have all used it, I guess. So we talk about state-of-the-art generative AI techniques, explainable AI techniques. We talk about a new way of storing data, a new way of representing knowledge. It's called knowledge graph. And we talk about combining the strength of LLMs, of large language models, with what is called the neurosymbolic architecture, like with some rules and facts and knowledge that is being controlled by humans. Forget the details, I just want to show you that there is this interplay here between large language models and what we call knowledge graph. But the important for us is the top layer of this architecture, which is modular and expandable and can offer a variety of services to address the needs I mentioned before, like to help people build arguments. I'll show you some mock-ups about what we plan. To give some explanations about what is going on, to seek information, to check for some facts, to check the validity of some facts, etc., etc. Last technical words, like we try to get the pros, the advantages of both sides, like from LLMs, from large language models, to exploit and build on these nice functionalities about language processing, the general knowledge that they embed, etc., etc. And from the other side, from the knowledge graphs, we get the structural knowledge. We have more accuracy. We are in better position to give a decisive information about what is going on, domain-specific knowledge, etc. And so the addition of new knowledge, it's in our own pace. We control the extra knowledge that is being integrated in our approach. I have two mock-ups to show you what we try to do. Come on. So the chatbot is there, the assistant is there, and these are a predefined set of functionalities. This could be a policymaker that she wants to perform some fact-checking about an issue under discussion. And this is the interaction they have with the bot. It's a real example taken from a European platform named Have Your Say. So the bot builds on the knowledge from the LLM and the specific knowledge from the graph to detect claims, to identify claims, and for each claim to specify the facts that support this claim. I have 2.5 minutes, so let me give another example. We have It's about argument building. Again, think about a citizen that wants to participate in a deliberation process. He selects this option. Describes the text that the bot, the assistant, wants to better present, to be more valid, to be more robust, to present it in a more robust way. And you may see what's going on. So the bot, our approach, builds a structured answer, explicitly defining premises and evidence for its premise. So this is structured knowledge, and the machine gets in the deliberation. The machine starts understanding what's going on in the deliberation.
Thank you very much, Nikos. We're running a lot late, so thank you very much for this one. And I will ask Spiros to present us, as we are quite late, and I'm very sorry about this, the next project that we are working on.
So we are developing, along with DCF and University of Patras, an AI deliberation platform that is specifically targeting youth and teens, taking into advantage the latest advancements of large language models. And the goal of the platform is to engage more the youth and the teens for the deliberation process, and to bring them to engagement and bring them closer to the democratic processes. So the platform provides summarization and contextualization of a problem. It also provides personalized simplification of concepts. So for instance, if there is a concept or a problem that a teen cannot understand easily, the system can help him with questions. I think this would be useful also for politicians. Also, it can make argument mapping. You can hear in the deliberation a lot of arguments, so the system can cluster these arguments and say, okay, look, this is the same argument, we can keep it this way, or this is not an argument at all, this is a personal opinion that doesn't lead, for instance, to a solution. And then we have the consensus building, where even the LLM can find some common ground and propose some solutions altogether. It will also provide a bias detection if there is a gender, a racial bias, or a confirmation bias because of a partisan bias coming from a political party. And it will ensure also the inclusiveness, that all the participants equally participate in the debate. And we're also aiming to have some cool-looking user interface that is simple and it's addressed to the teens, and it also has some gamification features. The important thing about this platform is that it is human-centric, so there is always the human in the loop. So if there are problems coming that you have already seen, the hallucinations, as Nikos mentioned, or some bias coming from the LLMs, the moderator will be able to intervene and detect them. And also this can be used as an educational way for the teams to learn about the problems and risks of AI. So this is in a nutshell, let's say.
Thank you very much. And I need to say that we have a focus on working in DCF with the youth, and the project that Spiros was mentioning was with youth. Do you have any questions for us? We have just 5 minutes to take some questions, and then the teens that work with us will take the floor. No? Perfect. Thank you very much, both of you. There is a question? I cannot. No. Okay.
Sorry, now you can see me. Hello, congratulations for everything we have heard so far. I'm Elina from Association of European Journalists and BCI Media Canada. So my question is, do you have any plans how you're going to interact with similar associations like yours in order to bring more active extroversion, networking? Thank you.
So this is for me or for the
For you.
for me. Sorry, I cannot see you. Yes, we believe very much in synergies. So if you have any ideas, and this goes for all of you, if you are working on similar projects, as I said before, with Orbis, we participate. We have a big consortium. I think, Nico, we also work together, 10 partners approximately, even more, and from different parts of the world. So if you have any ideas and you are interested in collaborating with us, that would be amazing. Yes.
There was another one.
Hello. I have a question for Mr. Mouzakitis. Emil, I work for Citizen Lab. We developed a model pretty similar to what you're describing, and I was wondering if you have examples of cases where you've been able to use the model you described and how it worked out.
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
Examples when you've been able to use the model that you just described?
Yes, the platform we are building is not hard-coded to a specific, let's say, deliberation platform. The idea is to be interoperable with existing discussion panels. So it could be accommodated to different debates and topics, not just. And on the back end, we don't have. We are using LangChain, so we are not hard-coded to specific large language models, but we can use a different type of large language models behind. So we are not tied to specific AI models.
We have time for one more question. I saw a hand there, but I don't know if... Yes.
Hi, thank you just for this presentation. My question, in a democracy, right, utilizing AI might be helpful for encoding, like decoding arguments from politicians, but I wonder if there's also a danger for citizens becoming over-reliant on using AI to understand something that's being told to them. Like, so for example, if a politician is in a debate, they make a claim, is there a danger that you see for a citizen not being able to decipher that claim on their own, thus being reliant on technology and kind of taking away their agency in that situation?
That's a nice question. Our approach, our overall approach, builds on the synergy, if you like, of human and machine reasoning. We do not over-rely on the abilities of AI. I mentioned a bit, Spiros mentioned also, we always want the human in the loop. Our approach has the human in the loop. Wants the human to control the extra knowledge that is being added in our knowledge graph, in our database. Okay, there are tools through which you can calculate the confidence you have on some data, and you can distinguish upon cases that, you know, you store data without control, with less control, with much control. So we do not, the answer for me is we do not over-rely on the abilities of AI. We do we do want the decision maker, the policy maker, the citizen to be there and have a critical view on what the machine proposes, suggests, etc.
One last question. Very, very brief. One.
Hello, my name is Margarita. We have company RAI, Robot Artificial Intelligence, and I have a question to Mr. Nikos. Do you use OpenAI API case for your bot? If so, how do you fight with hallucinations?
We try different LLMs. according to the context. Some LLMs work well and perform well in a certain context. Some do not. And so we try. There is a Greek LLM that we try, on Greek deliberations. So, but the answer is that we stay on top of them. Yeah, we do not rely again. I have not control on OpenAI models, on ChatGPT, etc., etc. So what we try to do is, to embed, if you like, to integrate this specific knowledge where we have control. Okay, so it's not like we use solely, explicitly, just one LLM as OpenAI. Also depends on whether the enterprise, the NGO, the one that uses the platform wants to pay some fees or wants to build on open solutions, yeah, on open source solutions.
I would like to thank you both. They are staying in the conference and you can ask them more questions. I have to give the floor to our 4 teams. Thank you very much.